Hi there. In the first contest of the 2024 presidential race, former President Trump proved that he can do what we've seen in the polls, at least in Iowa, winning by an historic margin here, more than 50% of the vote. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis pulled out a distant second-place finish, 30 points back, with former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley right behind him. The closeness of that second-place race is going to keep benefiting the former president as Haley and DeSantis focus their fire on each other. The next couple of contests do favor Haley. She has strong support in New Hampshire, where there are lots of independents who may lean her way. And then her home state of South Carolina comes next. Haley said last night she thinks she did well enough here in Iowa that with that runway ahead, she's made this a two-person race between herself and former President Trump. Ron DeSantis begs to differ. He said Iowa punched his ticket to keep going in this race. But he did bet big on Iowa, pouring in far more money and resources here than in any other state. His path will be a tough one. The former president sounded like a general election candidate last night. All three will now end tonight in New Hampshire. That's going to be the next big test. In Des Moines, Iowa, Alice Barr, NBC News.
An overwhelming victory for Donald Trump.
We want to thank the great people of Iowa.
The former president winning the Iowa caucuses by a considerable margin, solidifying his status as the frontrunner of the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Speaking from his Iowa headquarters, Trump gave a rare message of unity.
This is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis nearly beat out Nikki Haley for second place.
In spite of all of that they threw at us, everyone against us, we've got our ticket punched out of Iowa.
A DeSantis senior campaign official says he will stay in the race.
People want to have hope for this country's future, and that's what we represent. We represent a chance to reverse the madness that we've seen in this country.
Despite placing third, Nikki Haley predicts that this race will come down to her and Trump, based on recent positive polling out of New Hampshire.
When you look at how we're doing in New Hampshire, in South Carolina, and beyond, I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
Haley is continuing her message that the GOP needs a new generation of leadership.
70% of Americans don't want another Trump-Biden rematch.
And entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy suspending his campaign for president after placing a disappointing fourth. He called Trump to offer his endorsement.
We're going to do our part now going forward to make sure that America First lives on, to make sure that Donald Trump is successful as the next president of the United States.
Entrance polling providing insights into how Trump locked in his victory. Two-thirds of caucus goers believe that Biden did not legitimately win the 2020 election, despite no evidence of widespread voter fraud. And nearly half of caucus goers say they identify with Trump's MAGA movement.
We have an invasion of millions and millions of people that are coming into our country. We can't have that. We can't have that. It's not sustainable as a country. It's horrible.